Hey there, my name is Dr. Dawn Hyman, as you know, and I'm an audiologist. And I know what you're thinking. What does she know about marketing for a hospital system or an ENT office? She's in private practice, but I wasn't born in private practice. I actually worked in these offices for quite some time. I feel your pain. I hear your frustrations. And I know that a lot of you have no marketing budgets, but you're responsible for making certain that you are helping to pay for your own salaries. You need new equipment. How's that going to be paid for? You need to make sure that you are productive. The only way to be productive is to bring in new patients, right? Okay, so we're on the same page. So let's say you're even the one person that is the only audiologist in an ear, nose, and throat office, and you're responsible for making certain that you help out the bottom line for the office. And again, you have no budget. I want you to start with possibly having a staff meeting. It could be you, yourself, and a secretary. It could just be you. Or if there's 30 of you, have a meeting, and I want you to start writing down stories. Hear me out here. Everybody's got a good story. Maybe you're in a pediatric setting, hospital setting, and there was a baby that was born with bilateral atresia. And you did the ABR, bone conduction, inner ears are normal, great, blah, blah, blah. And then come the time when you're going to actually fit this baby with a Baha soft band. And they're sitting in the parent's lap, and you have that on them, and no one says anything. And suddenly through the speakers, you're like, "Ba, ba, 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 ba. Hey there, baby, hey there." And the baby like freaks out, like, that's a good story. Write that down. How about a cochlear implant candidate that you had that had a great success story? How about someone who had multiple ear infections and they had a stapendectomy that failed, and you fit them with hearing aids, and the tears are there, and everyone has stories of vestibular patients, tinnitus patients. Write everything, single story down. Go with me here. You want the stories. Next, what I want you to do is find out who the marketing director would be. If you're at the hospital, there's a marketing director. If you're not at the hospital, find out who the doctors are working with to create marketing. Is it the office manager? Is there a consultant that comes in? Talk to whoever's in charge of, let's say, creating press releases, or meet with the IT guy. So if you're in a hospital, there's probably an IT department. Find out who's in charge of the website. First, start with marketing. They might be the person that has to talk to the IT person. Who knows? Find out, get the meetings to see if you can tell these stories. Do you know how impressed they would be if they have a meeting with you and you say, "By the way, I have 12 stories here. Here, let me start telling you some of them." And they're going to go, "Oh, those are fantastic." Has anyone ever listened to the radio and there's a story about a baby who was going to die, and they ran to the local children's hospital, and then, you know, the doctors and the team helped them, and oh my gosh, and the baby was home for Christmas, and now the baby's walking, right? There was some tragic accident or something. Those commercials that are paid for by the hospital are just stories. Feel good stories. And you have them. You could submit a story to your local paper for free. If it's compelling enough, they'll ask you for more. Somehow you want to see if you can get those stories on the website. If you can create videos, that would be wonderful. You can not use names, but make it generalized. Like, we all know hundreds of kids who've had ear infections that the tubes helped, and, you know, they're doing great. Or a child who's out of auditory processing or something. You can change the name, definitely. You could change the sex, the gender of the person. You can change the details and stuff, but just tell the story of how your office is helping people, so that people will want to come to your facility as opposed to the place down the street. These same stories can be written into a blog post, which that same story could be put into a newsletter or a flyer. And guess who you're going to send it to? The physicians. If you're in a hospital system or you're in an ENT practice, your direct referrals are the MDs. And you want to tell them the stories of how you're changing lives. You want to be the audiology department that they're referring to. You, because you are linked with an ENT or with the hospital system, have a direct in to be able to give lectures for CME events. So the physicians usually meet sometimes once a month, once a week for lunch, and there's a speaker. Find out who's in charge of continuing education for the medical staff. Ask them if you can present. Get on the calendar for even once a year, twice a year. Come with all of your stories. Talk about the tinnitus patient. Talk about the dizziness patient. Talk about the baby with the atresia. Talk about the cochlear implant patient. Talk about the kids with the speech delay. Talk about the stories. Humanize it. Tell them about what happened when they were evaluated all the way through the treatment. You've got this. If you can send those same stories, if you have 12 of them in a year, you can send them to the physicians. Last I checked, any hospital I was ever in, we never had a budget for the mailroom or even office supplies, frankly. So we could order envelopes, I can order stationery or just paper, and you print out this stuff and you put it together and you send it to the mailroom and the mailroom mails it all out. You could be mailing these once a month. You could mail them once a quarter, who knows what. But you have the ability to tap into the MDs more than those of us in private practice. And it doesn't take a lot of budget. It takes the wherewithal and it takes the scheduling of the time to write out these stories. Everybody wants to hear about what great jobs you guys are doing. And you don't need to be in any kind of network to do it, but it helps that you are already in a medical network, so to speak. If you can present and if you can write stories, you will go very far. Lastly, I think you should probably try to create some sort of word-of-mouth marketing program where you send thank you cards. So a lot of times, again, your office supply budget isn't that terrible. So you could just order a ton of thank you cards. And every time someone's hearing is tested, you complete a thank you card and send it to the patient with your card, business card, and you complete and send a thank you card to the referring doctor with your card and send it out, and that will bring in patients as well. Okay? So if you have any questions, reach out to me. Ask below, contact me, but I hope you're having a great day and I really hope that this helps you. Bye.